Hello, welcome to Lunchtime with Liz. Today we're going to be making a Christmas card. It's almost October, so if you plan on making your own cards or making any kind of gifts, you probably need to get started, at least in, figuring out what you want to do, order some products to get started with that. I do have a Christmas card class coming up on October 19th, so maybe that would give you some ideas. So there are openings for that. If you're in my area and you'd like to sign up for that, shoot me a message. But this is the card I'll be doing today. Okay, and let me set that aside for now. The paper that I'm using is called Sweet Stockings. And let me just show you some samples of this DSP. If you are a cat or a dog lover, this might be something you would enjoy. It is called Sweet Stockings. I like those stockings. The puppies and the cats peeking out. So just giving you an idea of what's on these papers. Okay. So I'll be using Sweet Stockings DSP. Another product, this is a brand new product and I wasn't sure how I felt about it. Let me show you. This is called Jolly Felt. Jolly Felt. So it's pieces of felt. And I will tell you, when I first saw it, I thought, I don't really know what I would do with that. But there's Old Olive, Cherry Cobbler, White, and Bumblebee in here. And then I started thinking, like, I have some dies. I'm not using it today, but I have some dies for wise men. And what I started thinking of when I was in Sunday school as a child, or when I was teaching Sunday school, the flannel graph board. So I don't know if you've ever had flannel graph board stories, if you remember that, but I wasn't sure if it would go through the big shop. But let me tell you, hello, these dies, it's actually called the cut and emboss machine now, not the big shop, but you might have the big shop, and that's okay. But these dies, you can put right on top of the felt and run it right through your big shot or your cut and emboss machine, and it will cut that right out. So, oh my goodness, a whole new set of ideas came into my mind with that one. So the dies I'll be using today are gingerbread dies, and I'm using these two, a bell and an ornament here. And that's what I did with them. I just put this on here, ran it right through my cut and emboss machine, and cut out those shapes. The stamp set I'll be using is Heartfelt Wishes, and this is in the mini catalog. This is great because look at this. Merry Christmas, happiest holidays, much gratitude, sending love, cheers. And then there's all these little sayings that you can add to the front with the larger sentiment, or you can add to the inside of your card. To you and yours, this wondrous season, and heartfelt wishes from our family, and a happy new year. I like the font of this, and it's nice sometimes. Sometimes you need that longer image. So I like that one. So heartfelt wishes. And then I will be using Cherry Cobbler ink. Okay? All right. So enough of that. Let me give you all the pieces that you will need. This is Bumblebee cardstock, and it's just a half sheet of 8.5 by 11. So you're holding it horizontally. Let me give you an idea here. Sorry about that little shadow there. So here's your 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock, and I put it in the paper trimmer and trimmed at 5.5 inches. And then I scored at 4.25. Okay, so we'll set that there for now. Then I have a piece of white cardstock that is 4 by 5.25 inches. 4 by 5.25. I have 2 pieces of pattern paper that are 2.25 by 2.25, so 2.25 inch squares, 2 pieces. I have 2 pieces of Cherry Cobbler that are 2.5 inch squares. And then I have 1 white piece that is 3/4 inches by 3.5 inches. 3/4 inches by 3.5 inches. I have a piece of Old Olive that is 1 inch by 3.5 inches. And that's Old Olive. And then I cut out of the felt a bell and an ornament. Okay, so let's go ahead and put that together. We're going to fold this in half. Okay, and again, remember, if I was going to be doing a lot of them at one time, I would definitely be using the bone folder because it definitely starts to wear right here on your thumb when you're pressing that crease. You can take this piece and we're going to go ahead and attach that right onto the front, leaving about 1/8 of an inch around all sides. And it's approximate. Let's take these pieces. I'm going to attach my pattern piece to my squares, so the cherry cobbler squares. I would love any feedback, any comments you have, leave those below. That would be great. A thumbs up, a like. Maybe if I didn't explain something well enough, let me know that too. If you're not sure where to find a certain, excuse me, if you're not sure where to find a certain product, let me know and I'd be glad to help you out with that. Okay, and I'm using the Stampin' Seal. I'm going to go ahead and attach this to the top. Let me see. Are you guys seeing that? Okay. Yep. All right. Going to move that right up to the top. Have you started making any kind of Christmas cards yet? Not there yet? Thinking about it? Okay. So there we go. Now these felt pieces, you have a couple options. You could either use the liquid glue and put that on the back, or I just use the Stampin' Seal, but it's going to be really hard to put that on here. So what I did is I know that these little felt pieces are going to take up the center. So I just put a strip of Stampin' Seal right in the center. And then put this down on top of it. So I put the Stampin' Seal on the pattern paper and then press the felt piece into it. Okay, so there you go. And for something a little different, you could actually put the Merry Christmas up the side if you want to do that. That's an idea. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab my little white piece. The cherry cobbler ink, if you have an ink pad that's super juicy, okay, sometimes that happens and it's good for some things, it's kind of a bummer for other things. But if you have an ink pad that's super juicy, if you have words that, like this Merry Christmas, the E has a little tiny space in there, the R has little tiny space, and they're supposed to be open, like an open space. If you have a really juicy ink pad, sometimes the ink will fill in that space and it's not open. So what I do if it's juicy like that, I'm going to grab another piece of scratch paper here so I can kind of keep this one a little bit cleaner at the moment, is I will take this and ink it and then just lightly, very, very lightly just stamp off on a scratch piece of paper. And then go ahead and stamp. Let's get this messy one out of here. Okay, so if it's a very juicy ink pad, ink it and then stamp very, very lightly on a scratch piece of paper and then go ahead and stamp. And then you get all the little open letter, like the little spaces in the E and the R that are supposed to be there and the S, okay? So don't worry about it that it's really juicy. Like I said, for some things you like it, but if you have those little intricate detailed areas, sometimes that's a challenge when the ink pad is real juicy. But there's ways around that, no problem. All right, let's go ahead and attach this on here with our borders. Okay, press on the back. And then I'm grabbing my Forever favorite dimensionals. Putting some dimensionals on the back here. Get rid of those little pieces. And then I'm going to take that. We're going to set that right here in the center. And there you go. And there's our first Christmas card. Yay! All right. So hope you like that, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Again, there is a Christmas card class coming up October 19th. But all of these products are available in the mini catalog. And I think that's it for now. Talk with you later. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.